guess being taken out for a dinner and having roses, like a teddy-shaped rose. Yeah.
Gift of a phone. That was a long time ago, though it was a fairly used phone.
Valentine gift. I think I've gotten a dress. Oh, I haven't really had a Valentine's in a really long time.
Some money in my account.
I think it's mainly peer pressure.
So some of them are just obsessed about the things they get and the erotic part of it, which is also fueled by mainstream media.
Yeah, lots of teenagers are crazy about Valentine now, these days, which is not supposed to be. They're having the Valentine obsession now. It doesn't have anything to do with teenagers at all, because they are still young. Though we could understand that these days you see a fellow classmate, a year 7 or year 8, year 9 girl asking the other one out. They are attracted to each other romantically, but that shouldn't be their problem now. Love they should be having now as a teenager is love from their siblings and their parents. They shouldn't be involved in anything that has to do with this romantic love. It is not for them because they are still too young for it.
So I think my thought pattern is going to come from the background of what we are celebrating, but not the term used. So we might find it very uncomfortable with the word Valentine, but we know what we're actually celebrating is love, which we can't hide away from. Now we know that God is love, so I subscribe totally to celebrating love in its place, because you can't claim to love God that you don't see and claim to unlove men. So you need to love those around us first. Then it's a reflection of that you now extend to God, that if that's what you claim. But the term vow itself, some other person that put a lot of disputes, a lot of background, you're celebrating this goddess, blah blah. I would like to put that aside, but what we are celebrating, that we're celebrating love, which we know is the right thing to do.
I think people need to realign their focus, because I think Valentine's shouldn't be just a thing. I think it's a nice day that it's like, oh, let's do something a little bit special, but I don't think your whole relationship should hinge on whether something's done this Valentine's Day or not. Well, I don't want it to see it as a pressure thing. It doesn't literally have to be like a man and a woman. It could be your friends. Like, for example, I'm going out with my friends next week. We're going to do a girl thing. It could be your family members too, your mom, anyone. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a man and a woman. You can spend it however you want, whether it's just chilling. I'm basically saying you shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself. Like, it's not that deep. You don't need to have a Valentine's. It could be anyone.
Having unprotected sex, because that's what it is to most people because of their limited knowledge about Valentine.
Don't put pressure on yourself. It's not about, oh, I need to have this raise. Just spend it however you want to spend it. If it's watching a film with your mom, your brother, spend it with them. It's about love at the end of the day.
That Valentine Day, make conscious efforts not to be alone with that person. The person can sell you flowers, can sell you gifts. If you want to go out with that person, of course you can go out to a space where you have every other person there, but not being alone in a confined space, because it's during Valentine, during my period. I could recall that there are some persons that the guy will tell you that, I love you, and this is Valentine, it's Lover's Day, so because it's Lover's Day, let's do this. If you know you really love me, give this to me. They will demand for sex. That was it. It was mainly that, especially for young people, that if you love me, you have to do this. This Valentine Day, I've given you this. Especially if you're a girl, what do you give in return when a guy has given you lots of gifts? A guy has been professing love to you. So stop still being alone in a confined space with them, and let your parents know what is happening if they approved of it. Some parents these days will guide you. They will not tell you run away from this person, but they will guide you and teach you on what to do and what not to do when you're with that person.
We didn't really have people guide in times like this, and I think it's an opportunity for us to really take advantage of this time and provide leadership. There is nothing you can provide leadership for. There is leadership in place of love. Then show the younger generation what we're actually talking about.
Accepting gifts from the opposite sex, because that gift may cost you in the long run. The person that gave you that gift might come demanding for what you cannot give in return, and because you feel indebted already because you've collected the gift, most of our girls, they tend to fall prey, like, oh, I need to, who can I talk to? They can't talk to anybody, so they fall prey because they've collected what they can't give.
Love is very broad. There's so much more to love than the physical attractions and the romantic gestures.
Don't sleep around.
When you notice that someone is romantically attracted to you, let your parents know. Let them know that this is what this person wants, this is what this person has been doing, or this is what this person has been saying to me. Your parents should be aware of it.
You still have to learn about yourself. At 23, there's still probably so much that I have to learn about myself. There's still so much that if you're not going in a relationship now, you could mess it up. And if you got in a relationship at 16, 17, yes, there is beautiful stories of people who get, childhood lovers, and people meet them, but it's not the case for everyone. And just because it's not your time yet doesn't mean it's not going to be your time at all. Enjoy your singlehood, find yourself, and yes, obviously it's cliche to say, but have fun. Have fun.
What we celebrate mostly is infatuation, but what we think we should emphasize is the agape love of God. Irrespective of how you are being treated, we still express an extension of this love to other persons. So I think the church needs to provide leadership, the family needs to provide leadership, the society as a whole needs to redefine the concept of love and not infatuation that is being celebrated on Val's Day.
Putting everything online on social medias, there are some things that are supposed to be private, but once you go online, it's there. It's a huge mistake, and some people go on to regret that in life.
Families should have something like their own arrangement in the house. If you have your own arrangement with your children, taking them out, showing them love, they will discourage the one outside. They will not want to go to the one outside. They will rather enjoy it with their family.
Do it in an open space. Avoid totally secluded place. You could go see a movie, and after that, both parties can go their different ways. Thank you.
It's not that deep.
Certain boundaries should not just be around Valentine. I think certain boundaries should be part of your everyday life, so that people that come around you know what they should do around you and what not to do around you, what you can tolerate.
At some point, people will get talking. So when you get talking, you make the person know that, okay, though even if you're interested, you want to go ahead with the person, you let the person know that, okay, I like you, I really want to be with you too, but there are some things we shouldn't do. That is setting boundaries. And when that Valentine Day comes, when they want to play on your intelligence, want to use your word against you, that okay, we've been together for some time now, I haven't really asked you of this because you said this, but it's Valentine, you have to do this. You just tell them no. In fact, make conscious efforts that Valentine Day not to be alone with a person.
I think a lot of people don't have managed expectations. I think people see what people have done. For example, a big bouquet, a big this, but you're 16, 17, you're 8, even up to 23, because a lot of 23-year-olds, you've just got out of uni, you've just got out of your masters. Some people don't even have stable jobs, and I think you should have boundaries, and don't be scared as well if you're a guy to state your boundaries and be like, this is where I am.
Let all your senses be at alert. Let all your senses guide you. If it says let's go this way, and you have to think like, if I go this way, will it be favorable to me? Will something bad happen? You should be able to like say, no, why not us go to this place? Just set your boundaries so that the uncertain or what you didn't plan for wouldn't happen.
Blocker.
I kindly decline. Like I'm a friendly person. First, I'll try and just be like, you know what, we can be friends. But if I feel like their main focus is trying to have that connection with me, that physical, I'll have to let them know up front, because it just avoids stress, avoids them getting hurt, avoids me overthinking anything. At the end of the day, everyone just wants, you want peace. You don't want to get them in trouble. You don't want to get in trouble for, maybe pulling them along, stringing them along. So I just kindly decline and explain myself. Like, the earlier you tell them, the better, and it just avoids any mishaps in the future.
I just try and be I let people down gently. I'm not hard. I don't like to be harsh. But honestly, worst case scenario, you just block them or you just ignore them. You give long replies until you stop replying, until it fades out. And and then you mute their message so you don't see it, and then you forget. Because you realize that if you don't like somebody anyway, they're not in your head. So once you've muted it, you will forget, and then you're like, oh my God, this person hasn't messaged me in a while. And then that's how I deal with it.
It's simple. You avoid being alone with the person involved. Being alone with someone that is attracted to you romantically, it definitely means that at some point in time, the person will want to get involved with you. So how do you avoid that when you know that someone is romantically attracted to you? You don't be in a confined space with them. You don't be alone with them. Because being alone with them at some point it triggers it. So stop being alone to avoid that romantic.
You deal with unwanted romantic attractions by being firm, setting clear boundaries, and politely declining.
I am an overthinker. I understand where the friendship is no longer platonic or mutual, that is going the other way. So I just disassociate myself. I don't collect gifts that from people I know they are looking the other way, not that they are not in for real friendship.
But if it's face to face, I think in the society that we are, you have to switch on and don't be rude, because you don't know what space men are in and what they could be carried and how they could be, because we've had cases of people throwing acid on girls for rejecting them. So I think if you're face to face and a man is putting unwanted pressure on you, best if you can find somebody to be with, but if not, just try and let them down gently. Oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend. Always works. I have a boyfriend. Your boyfriend's not here. My boyfriend's coming. I have a boyfriend.
If he persists, that then turns to harassment, and harassment is actually a crime and it's punishable by law. So you need to take it to the appropriate people. If you're a child or something, you can report to adults who will take it up from there, or you can go to the authorities.
I don't go out late. Late movement too should be discouraged. Do not collect gifts from people you don't want to. Don't collect gifts. Do not, no matter how enticing the gift may be, do not collect gifts. That's like the bedrock for me. Yeah.